Okay, I think we are live. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Fox Report. If you are new to the channel, this whole channel is mostly about Leicester City, post match discussions, reactions, everything. But for this specific World Cup month, obviously, no Premier League football, no club football. So it's the World Cup edition following England into this tournament, now going into match three, but talking about match two against USA. This is the post match review, 0-0. Now, a lot of questioning coming into this squad based on that performance. Horrendous. Nothing that you can say has progressively improved compared to the first match against Iran. Now, for that post match review against Iran, I did say good start, but can't be too satisfied. And what happened against USA? Too satisfied with the first win, thinking that there are no problems, no issues to be corrected, or if they try to correct them, nothing nothing you'll see has been done in that match against USA. Same thing, midfield, no organization, no control, playing as if there is no actual designated center mid playing that number 10 role to control the match, create plays, think outside the box. Where is your creativity to go ahead and start your play, start a chance to attack and get a shot on goal? Nothing. But going first into the rate of the performance, what do you guys think? Rating England on 1 to 10 against USA. If you ask me, I rate them a 4. A 4 because, let alone because they won the first match against Iran, that isn't the same quality compared to USA. And as we know in the World Cup and any tournament, each and every single match will only get harder and harder. So to be able to play with that winning performance against USA that they had against Iran won't be the same. And you'll clearly see it, a much more distinctive and just more obvious look on your performance because you're playing the same way against a much harder side now. And first, going over to the lineup that was placed against USA with Gareth Southgate not making any changes, especially in that formation. It was a 4-2-3-1. Maguire, Stones in the back line, Declan Rice, Bellingham, defensive midfielders, Mason Mount in the midfield. Now we'll get to that later on. But originally, I had no issues. I did actually think that, or I thought that Harry Kane was going to be missing in this match due to a knee knock he had against Iran, but I guess that was recovered right away. So he's able to play in this match against USA. But besides that, as much as I did say don't get too satisfied, I was perfectly fine with the formation. I was fine with the lineup. I believe obviously there was room for improvement and there needs to be improvement ahead of this match against USA. So no issues with the lineup, no issue with the formation. But now with this whole result, this whole performance, there are a lot of things to ask. Whether are there options, alternate options? Because, like I said, in the midfield, nothing, no creation whatsoever, playing as though there is no number 10 on the team. But we know there are. There is Jack Grealish, there is Phil Foden. So going to that, you do see, like I said, no structure, lack structure still. Against Iran, we saw that. But there was a pass, there was a leeway with that match because Iran just isn't, at that level with England, at least not by far, but still not at that level. And also with USA, you do see this thing. So you do see that with United States, you're going to get much more pressure playing against players that actually know how to play at a higher level than the previous first match. So you'll obviously see that there lacks structure in the midfield because whoever's playing the number 10 role, which is Mason Mount, doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. So that was my headline of this entire match. Mason Mount. Why is he playing the entire 90 minutes of the match? Clear just view of how you see him as number 10. He's not. He's not number 10. So please, Mason Mount, come off. Come off. I have not seen anything much more poor in football in England to think that there are no other solutions to Mason Mount, having someone come on instead of him. Like, we all know there are, but the way the whole match played out, the fact that he played the entire match kind of shows whether do we have options, or is Gareth Southgate not being open enough with those other options. So, going into those stats with Mason Mount against USA, horrible. Look at the heat map. The heat map is similar to the match against Iran. Same stats against Iran. Possession lost. If anything, more possession lost. I believe the match against Iran was 8 times he lost possession. This time it's 13. Dribble attempts, the same thing as Iran, just 1. And let alone this attempt was not successful. Key passes, still 1 with the match against USA and 1 with the match against Iran. So what does that tell you? For someone to have the same stat as the previous match and this match, no improvement. You see a different level of opponents, USA and Iran. So if someone who's playing the number 10 role, who in the eyes of Gareth Southgate is the best option for England, what does that say mostly about the manager? And what does that say about the player? That tells you that Mason Mount, through our eyes, is not number 10. He's not. And if he was, and everything that we've heard so far leading up to this World Cup, leading up to how everyone says he needs to start, is just all a big lie. From what we hear about people analyzing his play, being a creative player, where is it? There is no creativity whatsoever from Mason Mount. I feel like we've all been lied to. I feel like Gareth Southgate is trying to prove a point, but still, no point is being proven. Nothing. He needs to come off. Someone else needs to come on. And that goes to, like I said, lack of opportunities for Foden and Grealish. Many people are saying Foden should start instead, play the number 10 role, but I mostly see him as a winger, mostly on the left. Same thing with Grealish. I think Grealish has much more stability and creativity than Phil Foden, and probably would be much more suitable for that midfield role. But given his qualities, given how he's played on the left side, that's preferably in that debate whether it should be Grealish, Foden on the left side instead. But we must not forget one more player is still in that squad. And if he wasn't called up, seeing this match against USA, I would be furious because he's not in there. But he's there. And as we know, in comes a new hero, someone to come and save England and have them qualify into the knockout stage for this last and final match of the group stage. And that is, as you all know, James Maddison, our number 25, our number 10 for Leicester City. James Maddison is the ideal player to play that number 10 role, without a doubt. Whether you are a Leicester City fan, whether you're not, myself, watching Leicester City, watching Maddison, how he controls a very distinctive but obvious number 10, one who will not lose the ball 13 times, and not one who won't lose the ball more than 5 in a match. So, Gareth Southgate, if he wants England to qualify, to not get eliminated, not be humiliated, specifically being a team to get eliminated in the group stage, then put on James Maddison. There are no other options. Maybe you want to put in Foden, Grealish, given the fact that they've been on the team longer, go ahead, but do not put Mason Mount in that number 10 position. He does not know how to play a position. He does not know what he is doing. He needs to look back, see, realize his performances in the last two matches, and whether or not it's up to Southgate. He's the one to make decisions. He's the one to see if really he wants England to go ahead into the knockout stage or not. But James Maddison is the main person for that number 10 role. He has to start for the next match against Wales. But of course, let me know what you guys think. Leave it all in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Now, one thing, as we all know, after the match against England, the next day goes on. The first post, or at least one of the first posts from what we see on social media, is from England on Twitter, seeing that Maddison is back in training. Good to hear that. That is what we want to see. Matters back on the pitch, training with so much time ahead of this match against Wales to decide whether he should be starting or not. Preferably, I believe so, needs to be starting, but certainly will be on that bench, get some game time against Wales, because that match against Wales will not be easy whatsoever. It's all to play for in Group B. So currently going to the table of Group B. First place with 4 points, but just 3 apart from Wales. USA, Iran, whoever wins that match will qualify. Same thing for England or Wales, depending on goals. But we have the higher chance of qualifying with a draw. But that doesn't mean that we'll get a draw, nor will it be easy. Wales will certainly go ahead and give it their best. They know how England plays, pretty much similar football. They have players playing in the Premier League. They have Johnson. They have Bale, who's not in the Premier League, but knows that style of play. So that is something that definitely has to be taken note of. And just going more so into what is left for this last match in the group stage. That is change the formation. Well, particularly if Maddison plays, keep the formation, but change players in the position. And that begins with Mason Mount. I think that is one thing that is the most ideal position of the whole team, and that is someone to go ahead and play the number 10 role, go ahead and control the match, not have the ball come from one side to the other, back and forth in less than a minute. You need to have someone to hold the ball, look at options, and that is James Maddison. And just going off the stat of Mason Mount in the match against USA, Maddison had a better stat against West Ham, and he only played about 20 minutes. So if Maddison can have a better stat than Mason Mount in 20 minutes, rather than him having a whole poor stat in 90 minutes against USA, what does that tell you? The fact that Maddison isn't even a number 10, playing a number 10 role for Leicester, he's on the right wing, but still finds his way towards the midfield and still is able to switch the ball from one side to the other and kind of play that dual role of number 10 and right winger. That just shows you the high qualities of Maddison. And yet the media, Gareth Southgate, from what we're seeing at this point in time, are just overseeing that. They're not looking at that. They don't want to acknowledge that. Is it the fact that they don't trust Maddison? Is it the fact that he plays for Leicester City? I don't know, but look at the picture, the real picture here. Mason Mount is not a number 10. Not at all, not one bit. Now, if Maddison gets his chance, which hopefully he does, I guarantee you 100% he will prove that point. He is most certainly ready, most certainly much more motivated to come on and play, and give him a chance. Stats do not lie. Stats are there for a reason. You look at them, you see, is there any improvement? There's no improvement. So go ahead and switch, because this is the last and final chance to see where England will be looking ahead for for the rest of this entire World Cup. And I'll tell you, it's not getting any easier. But of course, let me know what you guys think. Leave it all in the comments below. And this pretty much concludes the post-match review for this match against USA. Like I said, if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for the pre-match review, which will be for the final match in the group stage for Group B against Wales. Big decision maker here. Let's see what happens. Let me know your predictions for that match. Leave it all in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.